Hey G-Fans, GojiFan93 here, and welcome back to Day 7 of the Godzilla-thon 2014. Today we will be taking a look at Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, also known as Ebirah, the Horror of the Deep. So, alright, now to start off, this also is not one of my favorite films. It's actually probably one of my least favorite films. I don't know, I mean, if you like it, that's fine, but in my opinion, it's not one of the best. But it does have some cool elements to it. Some of the cool elements is that we get Akira Takarada back. He plays as like this robber criminal kind of character, which is pretty funny. And then we get, I don't know the actor's name, but the guy who played as Dr. Serizawa, he's back and he's playing a bad guy. And it's funny because he wears an eye patch as well. So I think that they kind of did that on purpose. I don't know why, but so basically the story goes is like this organization that has set up base on an island. They basically go over to Infant Island and they take some of the members there and basically bring them in to be slaves so that they can create this, like they're making the slaves work, and they actually never really explain why they're doing this, but they're selling products probably and all that stuff. Obviously just, you know, using slave labor. And but what they also do is they make them make this like yellow liquid or whatever, or this like, it's like this yellow like sort of liquid but kind of misty in the way. And what happens is they use that because Ebirah, the monster in this movie, at least the enemy to Godzilla in this movie, what they do is that when they go on their boats to get more people on Infant Island, they use that yellow mist so that Ebirah doesn't attack them. I guess it's like a repellent for Ebirah. So basically our main characters, they get, you know, stuck into all this mess, and then they find out that Godzilla is basically sleeping in a mountain, which I don't know why he's in there. Like, you know, it's like Godzilla's like in so many different places in each film when like he enters, like he's underground or he's in a mountain or like whatever. I don't know, Godzilla just wants to sleep, I guess. But and also what's interesting is that this film was actually meant for King Kong rather than Godzilla. So there's a lot of parts in this movie that like Godzilla gets power by lightning, which is actually supposed to be King Kong, because in King Kong versus Godzilla, he got power from lightning, and I guess because they thought Godzilla was more marketable, so they're like, well, let's just put Godzilla in this one. So yeah, Toho's all about the money. But so yeah, Godzilla wakes up, and you know, my favorite part of the film would have to be when Godzilla's just, you know, attacking the base. That'd probably be my favorite part of the whole film. Other than that, you know, it's just a bunch of chasing around, the heroes trying to evade the enemies, and you know, for me it's just kind of boring. I really, you know, can't get too into the movie just because it goes on for so long. I mean, you don't even see Godzilla till like half the film, so it's like bleh. I mean, one thing that I did like is Akira Takarada. I mean, he's still funny. I mean, the character he plays is really funny, and the way that he gets all shanghaied into the whole story is pretty funny. And also the actor who played as Dr. Serizawa, who's playing this part of like a second in command. I don't know what to call them, like pirates or something, but they're not really pirates. But anyways, so he's pretty cool, and yeah, and I guess they when I was little, first watching this movie, I didn't understand why Mothra was in this film, but now that I've seen it again, I completely understand why Mothra's in this film. And I also think I said in my last review of this movie, the first time I did these, I think I said that I still don't understand why Mothra was in this film, but now it's like, oh yeah, because they're taking the people from Infant Island, so it makes sense. So yeah, but you know, and to the actual monster fight between Godzilla and Ebirah, it's just nothing. I don't find it interesting. It's just kind of bland. I mean, it's just, personally I don't like a lot of underwater fight scenes, because there's a part where Ebirah like takes Godzilla and just, you know, brings him underwater. And one thing that I never noticed, which if anyone can answer this for me, that'd be amazing, but how come when Godzilla's above water, usually the water's like right at his waist, okay? But so you would think, okay, well obviously the ground, you know, he's, you know, because obviously he's not sinking, so he's, you know, standing, but you know, the water's here. But then how come when Ebirah, or in other movies when Godzilla goes underwater, his whole body's underwater? Like, I don't know. Can anyone explain that to me? Or am I just weird, or am I just stupid? I don't know. But that's just something that I noticed that's just kind of weird. But yeah, there's really just not much to talk about this film. It's just kind of, we're getting into the Godzilla movies that weren't as inspired. They were just kind of, Toho was making this yearly and they were probably running out of ideas. Also the freaking giant condors in this film, that random ass battle, like Godzilla's just sleeping for some reason. Oh yeah, because he's sort of, they tried, but it never went anywhere. But like Godzilla was looking at the girl who's one of the main protagonists, and Godzilla was like getting attracted to her, obviously being because it was supposed to be King Kong, because King Kong likes women and blah blah blah. But it never goes anywhere. It's like for one scene for like 5 seconds, and then Godzilla ends up having to fight the giant condor. Comes out of nowhere. You can't even see what's happening in the fight. It's just like the camera's so close and it's so frantic. You're just like, what is going on here? And then what's really weird, the tone completely shifts when all of a sudden jets start coming to attack Godzilla, and they start playing like this 60s like party music, and you're just like, huh, interesting. So yeah, it's just a weird, I don't know. It's definitely, in my opinion, not my favorite. It's just one of my least favorite Godzilla films. I don't like Ebirah. I don't care for the Godzilla suit. I mean, even the Godzilla suit itself is not as good as it was in the previous films, or as it will get better. Mothra looks completely, I don't know. She just looks like her hair is just all, I don't know. She just looks messed up. I don't know what's wrong with her, but so and we can kind of assume that this Mothra was the Mothra that was in Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster that grew up. So maybe that's how that timeline goes with these films, because there's a little bit of there's still a little bit of continuity with this film, because when the female's talking about hey, they're taking people from Infant Island, and they're like, oh, you're from Infant Island, oh, Mothra, blah blah blah. So they still know who Mothra is. So that, I like how they're still trying to keep continuity, but once we get into like Son of Godzilla and Godzilla's Revenge, they just completely lose all continuity between each film. But anyways, so that's pretty much all I got. This, not a really fun film in my opinion, except for when Godzilla's destroying the base. That's pretty much my favorite part. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow will be Son of Godzilla. Yeah, see you guys till then. Stay big, G fans.